Meantime, though, Arne Slot has sat down and is talking to the media ahead of Liverpool's match against Burnley on Sunday.
Yeah, so a lot of things happened on the last day, which is not always the situation, because last season we hardly did anything during the whole window. But yeah, the thing that pleases me most is, of course, is us getting the deal from Alex over the line. Richard, ownership, everyone involved worked so hard to get that deal done, and it's very good for the club, for our fans, for the players, for me, that all the work they've put in resulted in Alex signing for us.
How close were you to getting the deal for Mark Gay over the line, and therefore what chance is there that you will go back in for him? What chance do you feel there is that he will become a Liverpool player in the next 12 months?
Nah, I think it would be a bit ridiculous if I'm going to deny that we were close to signing him. That is so out in the open that would be ridiculous. These things happen in football. It happened to our players maybe in the past as well, that they thought they were so close on signing somewhere else, and then in the last moment things changed. And this can happen, and for me, we would have liked to sign him, of course, because we were in for him, and he was, like I've said many times, if we can feel we can strengthen the team with a chance in the market, we never hesitate to do so, and that's what we try to do. But we played 1 or 2 days before, we played Arsenal, where Ibu and Virgil played an outstanding game, and Joe came in 20 minutes before the end, Joe Gomez, and did outstanding as well. With us signing Giovanni Leone, who had his first international call-up, and Ryan and Watto that can play there. So it's not like all of a sudden we don't have options in that position anymore. It's a pity, but not only for us, but also for the player, I think. But he's in a good place, playing at Palace, where he won the Charity Shield and the FA Cup with a very good manager as well. So let's see what the future brings for him and for us.
Just to push it out, would you be thinking January or next summer?
If I'm thinking anything, you know that what I think, I don't tell you, but the thing I think most about is Burnley at the moment, I can assure you.
With that in mind, how ready is Alexander Isak to play for you and make his debut against Burnley? Because obviously he got his first minutes playing for Sweden against Kosovo. But I also got to ask you as well what you make of the criticism he's received over the way things ended at Newcastle, and what kind of impact that has had on him, if anything at all.
Now, first of all, I think the Swedish manager Jon Dahl Tomasson deserves a big compliment, because he gets one of the best, maybe the best striker in the world in, and needs to play 2 very important games for his country, but understands that if he would play him twice 90 minutes, then probably the player would have been injured for multiple weeks. And that's not always easy for a manager, that he takes care of the interest of a player. And so he deserves a big compliment for that. And we will treat Alex the same as they did. So don't expect him to be every single game 90 minutes on the pitch. That's definitely not going to happen in the upcoming weeks. He missed a proper pre-season. I think he missed 3 or 4 months of team sessions. And so now we have to build him up gradually, with us playing so many games, hardly any training time. So that's going to be a challenge. But we've signed him not only for the upcoming 2 weeks, we've signed him for I think for 6 years. So yeah, this is what we have to keep in mind, and what the fans have to keep in mind if they see that I take him off at a certain moment, or I only bring him in for a small amount of minutes. That's all for the long-term fitness of the player.
And the criticism he's received?
In football, there's always criticism. So sometimes people cheer for you. So I think after he won the League Cup, everyone was really happy with him. And in other moments, you get criticized. This is part of his life, my life, our jobs. And now he's a player from us, and I'm really happy with that.
So you did mention Harvey as well, just obviously deadline day, Harvey.
Yeah. Another positive thing, I think, not only Harvey, but if I look at Luis Diaz, how he hit the ground running at Bayern Munich is a big compliment for our performance staff and the people that work in this building. So every time a player leaves, Tyler Morton does really well at Olympique Lyon. So that tells you how we bring players to other clubs. And Harvey is in a very good place, going to a very nice club with Aston Villa. I think it's in the interest of everyone. He didn't get the playing time he probably deserved for the quality player he is. And he conducted himself always so well. So it wasn't only when he said that this was his club that he wanted to say this to the fans. He acted inside with him not playing so much, but he was always doing what was in the best interest of the club. So he deserves a big compliment for that. I know everybody always talks about Mo and Virgil and the others if we win the league, but players like him were definitely also the reason why we could win it, because he always was positive, and if he had to play 5 or 10 minutes, he helped the team. And in every session he did, and that is partly the success of a team, that the ones that don't play that much have the right mindset. And I think he's completely ready now to show the quality he has at Aston Villa.
Arne, when you look at what Isak brings to the club, aligned with Mo and Ekitike and Wirtz and Gakpo, do you feel now you've got a core and variety in your squad to change games should you need to?
Yes, I do feel, but if the question is that the first time since you're a Liverpool manager, then the answer is no, because last season I could change games around with Diogo, with Darwin, with Lucio, with those three players that are not one for the reasons we all know, the other two that were sold. So yeah, that is what a club like Liverpool, what Jurgen probably could do in the past as well. This is normal at our club, that we have multiple options and that we can change the game if necessary.
And looking ahead to this weekend, granted, players are only just coming back from international duty. Do you have a relatively clean bill of health? How are you shaping up for this weekend?
If the players are fit, that's yeah, I think they are. Yeah. We trained today for the first time with them. With most of them, the non-internationals did train with the under-21s this week already. Curtis Jones, of course, I don't know if you knew, but he got injured in the last game, so he will not be available for the game against Burnley. But I think the rest of them all came back without a problem, and that is almost. That's not always the situation, especially not in the beginning of the season, where everybody comes from a different background, going to the national team where they then all of a sudden have to play 2 games in 4 or 5 days, which is always the biggest risk in November and October, and in March they are much more used to that program. So we are happy that they are fit, and again, a compliment not only for the Swedish manager but also for the others, because a few others like Ryan Gravenberg didn't only started 1 game and not both of them.
And in terms of Burnley, obviously they got promoted last season. Scott Parker's developed a team with a reputation for being defensively solid. What do you expect this weekend? How will you need to approach it?
Defensively solid, but I don't give them enough credits if I only talk about that, because first goal they scored against Sunderland was a great team goal. So good team, but yeah, like all the others, we know. My experience from last season is when the teams that were relegated now, so I replaced them for the ones that promoted. We had problems at Ipswich, we had problems at Leicester, and we had problems at Southampton, and problems with we only won it in the end phase of the game, so yeah, there's we know that every game is difficult, and I only have to look back at last season to understand that. Thank you.
Arne, we're obviously very familiar with what Alexander Isak can do on the pitch, but from your interactions with him, what do you make of his characteristics as a person? At Newcastle, he seemed very, all business and able to kind of separate the emotion in a really kind of focused way. Do you think that's maybe even helped him across the summer, and is that anything that you see?
Yeah, maybe people don't believe me if I give you this answer, but I haven't spoken to him that much. So I spoke to him after he signed by phone because he had to go to the national team. And the way I 99 out of 100 times treat my players during international breaks is I leave them for the manager that they are working with over there. So I text him maybe now once or twice because he's new to us, wanted to know how he did. But I do have to get to know him as a person much better in the upcoming days and weeks. but although we find it very important how someone is to because we have such a great culture here at this club, we mainly sign a player also for his qualities, and therefore I don't need to call him. We faced him a few times. I faced him a few times, and I know how what a quality player he is.